What's going on, guys? My name is Blazekiller. Today we are back with another video. Happy Easter, everyone. In today's video, I would like to be going over all of the Easter eggs that Lumber Tycoon 2 has seen over the years. These are going to be more or less a compilation of the biggest videos that I've made, the videos that I've gotten the most views, and even sharing some new information with you guys in this video. Since Default 2 doesn't do really an Easter update, to my knowledge, we're not expecting anything at least. We're just going to be going over all the Easter eggs on a similar note, keeping it Easter themed at the very least. And yeah, we're going to start off today in the Woods of Rust, talking about the different Easter egg signs that we see in Woods of Rust. Look, the bulletin board is a perfect place to check if Default 2 is adding any new Easter eggs, because the bulletin board is filled with all different Easter eggs that he's constantly changing, or constantly has changed over the year, maybe not recently. So take a look at this. Nothing seems too interesting, but we have a couple things. Starinok prefers ice cream to all other foods or earthly pleasures in general. All that glitters is gold. So nothing really seems important here. You can read this if you want. But this, really red is the new red, and this eagle. These are the most important things I'll talk about later. But always keep an eye on this because it's full of Easter eggs. It has announced different events that have happened, partnerships that have happened in the past, and has led people to the red eagle, which I'll talk about later. Also in this, there's a sign in the corner of the Woods of Rust here that states, rumors about Zolarketh. It's too kind to not offer other people the restroom before him, even if he really has to go also eat sand. Sand. That's a key thing. Keep that in mind. Look at bag of sand. Bag of sand is needed for the rookery axe. And where do you find the rookery axe? But right in front of the red eagle. So all these Easter eggs being dropped here so people can figure these things out. Rookery-o. Hint, rookery axe eats light bulbs. Okay, so we have light bulb, we have sand, and finally the can of worms located in Bob's shack. All three ingredients to actually form and make the rookery axe or the end times axe if you are on Halloween. So these signs are a constant hint, constantly hinting at different things and progressing the game forward, and giving us players an idea of what to actually do and progress in this game. Also, I made a video about this in the past. This sign right here that you see turned, it actually says something, and it's turned inside out. It actually, the text is on the opposite side, and it talks about a ticket. So this was never actually implemented into this game. It's a feature that was never added, but it pretty much discusses a ticket that you would use to, I believe, go over the ferry or something to do with the wood here. I'll put a picture on the screen if I can find that, and I made a video about the past. I'll try to post it on the screen so you can see this. I've made a video about a lot of these in the past. As I said, it's more of a compilation video, but nonetheless, still new topics, so stay tuned, and we're going to talk about all those new things. The next Easter egg leads us over to here. A couple things are going to be seen over here. First, we see this little hole here. This is a remnant from the Beesmith event. And there are a lot of remnants from different events, but nonetheless, here this is the Beesmith event where the dropper is where you'd it was just part of the event and things that you would have to do in that event. Next, a big thing, I made a video about this in the past, is this semicircle. If you look here, there's a little indentation of a semicircle, which has led many people to believe that Default is going to add some sort of tunnel, and there is a tunnel mesh picture. I'll post another picture screen right now if I have yet to do so. In regards, it looks more like a tunnel than it does even now. So whether it is a location to a new biome or a new way to get to the gold and zombie, the swamp biome, in other words, I don't know. But it's confounded Lumber Tycoon followers and players of the game for a long time. Continuing with the signs, if you go into these little buildings here, there are a variety of other different signs which potentially could hold some meaning. And again, we'll go over to the other one and show you some more Easter eggs on the other side of this. In the meantime, there are a couple of things that I don't have enough time to actually go and explain and go to the exact locations of and explain in this video, so I'm just going to be explaining those out loud rather than actually going into those things. I hope that's okay with you guys. I'll, of course, supplement what I'm saying with pictures to enhance the explanation. In any case, the green box is another thing I want to talk about right after I go over to this side of here. And in here we have a lot more different signs than the first one. We have another follow the eagle, hint of the rookery axe. We have an Illuminati, and we have a map of the world. So very strange things. What do these things even mean? I don't know. In any case, let's talk about the green box. The green box is part of the secrets of the lava cave, or of the lava maze. Sorry, the volcano. Yeah, that's what it's called. And it's part of that secret. Pretty much, you can go all the way up to the volcano and get your wood as you want, or you could also go down. There's a little ramp that you can go down and to go a separate way. Now, this is a very difficult process, very arduous. I've never done it legitimately myself. You can glitch into the room, but doing it legitimately requires friends and long planks. And in any case, it's a lot of parkour you need to do to actually get to the green box. But once you get there, there's not much that happens. It gives you a little award pop up on your screen that you've actually obtained the green box. I've done it myself. I made a video about it a long time ago. But it's really strange. What is the purpose of it? It seems just default is adding another little fun Easter egg into the game. Fun thing for us to do and keep us occupied in the midst of these very infrequent updates. Am I right or am I right? Okay. Another thing leads us back to the bridge. This man is called Sorkus. He's a player that most people don't even know about in this game, an NPC, and many people have tried feeding him different things, and I'll show you why I say that if you don't already know. In the first place, so go under this side of the bridge, and there's going to be a man under here saying, "Feed me." His shirt says, "Feed me, Sorkus," and you cannot actually communicate with him or anything. You can try to feed him whatever you want, but at the time of this recording, he does not accept any sort of payment for food. He doesn't seem to have any interactive abilities. But you can try to feed him a variety of things, and if you find something that he actually accepts, go, share it with other people, because currently it's unknown what the purpose of that character is. The next one I want to talk about is the candy cane axe. The candy cane axe was part of one of the Christmas updates, and currently serves no purpose in the game, which is kind of strange, right? Why wouldn't an axe serve a purpose? Why would an axe, in other words, cut down trees? It's unknown in this case, but here we have the candy cane axe right here. And we open it, we unbox it, we take it. This cannot actually chop down any piece of wood. So I'm going to take it over to some pieces of wood and show you what happens when I actually try to cut it. So I have this end times wood right here. Try to chop it. Not going to chop it. I chop this one. It's not chopping. And in fact, if you can hear that, it makes a little sound. Like something's wrong, like I'm not doing something right, like it's not meant to be cut. I go over to an actual tree and see what happens. It does not cut at all. In some, I believe, on the PC version of the game, it actually drops out of your hand, an even stranger thing to happen. No wood is no... This cannot cut any wood, and it's unknown what it actually serves for. Defaultio talked to Code Prime 8 about this specific axe, and the Defaultio actually shared with Code Prime 8 what this axe is served for, what it's used for, what it can chop down, but he's not going to share that with anyone else. So it's unknown what it does right now. Serves no purpose as an axe. Interestingly, though, as I mentioned earlier on PC, that this axe drops out of your hand whenever you chop something. I see that sign over there, and I mentioned in a previous video, there's something called sign wood, where you can put your open sign inside of a sawmill, and it actually makes its own type of wood, interestingly enough. And I can't seem to get it to work, but I believe it still does work. But in any case, once you get that sign wood, once you get the actual plank of sign wood, you can try chopping it with the candy cane axe, and the axe won't fall out of your hands. Really strange. Take that as you will. I don't have enough time to talk about that more. Pinkwood. Pinkwood is the next Easter egg I want to talk about. Pinkwood has confounded people so many times. There is a clip, I don't know if I'll get copyrighted for it, but I'll try to play it if I can, of Defaultio talking about the significance of pink in his life, and he's saying he tries to demasculinize it and whatnot.
Can you talk about the color pink in your game?
I love the color pink. I like the color pink because you can take it and turn it into something else and see if you can break those associations. See what happens if we can make pink not a feminine color, but a color that represents something else. And in my game, I make very rare and exciting items pink.
But in any case, the pinkwood has found its way into Lumber Tycoon 2 in a variety of different ways. And Defaultio has given hints of various pink things around the map. I'll post some pictures on the screen right now if I've yet to do so. But that's all I have time to talk about for that. Next one is going to be Bao, sorry. From Kung Fu Panda. This is another remnant from a previous event. But in any case, there's a little character of Bao, the panda, hidden in one of the rock faces within the main biome. Very interesting. That's just a little short thing to share. The maze. The maze is filled with Easter eggs. I've made so many videos about the maze, the Bluewood maze, that is, and I'll talk about a couple right now. The first one I want to talk about is the Safari exit hole. The Safari exit hole is a hole in the Safari biome, of course, and it's one of the exits of the maze. You can go through a little exit in the maze and end up on this Safari side of things. More than that, there are 4 characters, or I believe 4, or a couple characters, a few characters within the maze, NPCs that is, that are interactable, and one of them is the main one. I'll talk about the other ones real quick. First off, there's a fine arts shop where you can buy paintings within the maze, as well as a NPC named Joel, who wants to warn the players that they can lose these souls, or their souls in the caverns. And there's also Slam, another NPC, which says heh, and Gek. The most important of all, Gek. It says, my boat shop is lying around here somewhere, or something along the lines of that. Of course, I'll post pictures on the screen of all these things. But interestingly enough, we've talked about boats, and we think that boats are going to be added into the game at some point, possibly. He's hinting at boats. Default could just be trolling us, but there are so many things leading us to believe that boats are going to be added into this game. There's a boat harbor in this game that currently serves no purpose. There are tunnels and canals and underwater canals and rivers that serve no purpose. And why have Palm Islands if you can't actually get to them in the first place legitimately? There are so many questions that need to be asked, and it leads us to believe that the boats are going to be added into this game. But to no avail currently. Doesn't seem like anything's going to happen, but I hope it does. I sincerely do hope it does. And there are a variety of other things in addition to the blue wood, of course, in the Bluewood maze that are also serve as Easter eggs in this game. Another thing I want to talk about is the Squidward painting. This is a very big Easter egg as well. At the time when I made this, it was made a video talking about it. It was very large. So what is the Squidward painting? Okay, so pretty much default to gain some access, some rights to obtaining the Squidward painting, or obtaining the ability to actually have that Squidward painting in the game. I'm going to press pause on that for a second. Reason being because we are close to the red eagle. Remember the previous Easter eggs. Follow the red eagle. And really red is the new red. Here is the red eagle. Those Easter eggs led us right here to where you can open a hatch and go under the map and actually have these 3 people sitting, and you can put the light bulb and the bag of sand in the can of worms in the correct orientation, and when done so correctly, a Rookery axe will fall from the ceiling, or an end times axe. If you're doing it on Halloween, you will obtain an end times axe. Only then will you obtain an end times axe. Pause on the previous story and resume on the previous story about the Squidward painting. So default to obtain the rights to the Squidward painting, and putting it into this game at least, and had a very interesting way of actually allowing the players to obtain it. What the players would do, they would use one of the gifts of the Christmas event, the numbered cube, and when press it, pretty much what would happen is if you interacted with the cube, it would get smaller and smaller and smaller. It would change colors. It would I think stay the same number as well, but you would have to have two very rare cubes of the same type, and they would serve to be Defaultio's eyes. What do I mean by that? So Defaultio, when you make Defaultio's face into pixels, the colors of the 2 eyes were the 2 colors of the cubes that you need to have. Once you did that, you needed to take those 2 cubes to the mountain, the Volcano mountain up there, blow up an entrance, put those 2 cubes into a hole, and when done so correctly, a door will open, leading you to the Squidward painting. It's a very elaborate, a very long process, very difficult to obtain it. Yet, just like the green box, yet it's a very worth it in the end. Hope that it made sense. If it didn't, I made videos about it in the past. Go obviously watch those if you are interested further in those things. Next thing is called the Secret Lighthouse, or the worn or the weathered lighthouse. This was added relatively recently compared to the previous ones, and this is actually able to be seen over where the Frostwood is. The Frostwood is a new wood, a relatively new wood that was added into Lumber Tycoon 2, and around that same area you can actually have a little outcropping and go into this little cave, which leads you to an abandoned, old, rundown lighthouse. What would a lighthouse serve except for boats, further leading people to believe that boats are going to be added to this game. Whether Defaulty was trolling us or he's actually giving hints, subtle hints over time that boats are going to finally be added to this game, I don't know. I really hope it is. Boats are going to be added to this game, but the Lighthouse gives us further evidence that that is going to be the case. A couple more things, but I covered the main things. The Lost Cave. The Lost Cave is actually a pretty big Easter egg as well. This was added quite a while ago, yet still relatively new compared to everything else that I've been talking about, really. The Lost Cave, not to be confused with the Lone Cave, which is the End Times biome, is a little cave that can be found right up there where my cursor is. You can actually blow up an entrance into that cave, and it will lead you to a dark cave, and you're going to need to explore that cave and find a variety of NPCs in the way, but ultimately your goal is to find this man who grants you the ability to fill any blueprint with one by one unit of wood. So what does that mean? So a typical blueprint would take whatever the required amount would be, but regardless of the size of the blueprint, this ability gives you, or this feature, which costs I believe $10 or $20 million in-game currency, would grant you the ability to fill whatever that blueprint would normally cost with a one by one unit of that refined wood. Hope that made sense. If it did, I've made videos about it in the past, as I've said many times before in this video, so go watch those things if you are interested. Here's more evidence of pink things. A pink truck is another pink thing that Defaulty added into this game. Next thing is the Spook and Sinister Wood. Most of you are familiar with this, but if you aren't, Spook and Sinister Wood are two very rare woods that are available year-round, but more so on Halloween to a greater extent. Here's this this path that I mentioned within the Volcano area. If you go down this path, you can actually go and get to the green box. I'm currently stuck. I'm probably going to die at this point, but in any case, you can go and go to the green box from there once you go down this little area. I'm going to die while I'm at it, so I'm just going to go down here and show you briefly what this is. But there's a big parkour area, and it's very difficult to actually obtain this green box successfully. In any case, I'm going to disconnect so I don't lose all my axes there. But yeah, the Lost Cave grants you that ability, and that's another Easter egg that was added to this game. It's really interesting looking at all these Easter eggs, how these things were found in the first place. Think to yourself, how are these things found by people? But they were. Anyway, Spook and Sinister Wood, available year-round, mostly on Halloween, are the best woods in the game. They sell for pretty much the most amount of money, if not the most amount of money. They look very cool. If you're not familiar with them, I'll post a picture on the screen. But that's pretty much covers all of the Easter eggs that this game has seen thus far. If I left any out, leave it in the comments below. But we covered today the different signs that are on the map: the billboard, the ticket, the Lost Cave, the green box, the Beesmas hole, the semicircle, the man under the bridge, the candy cane axe, and Signwood, and the boat harbor, and Geck, and the boat shop, and the blue maze, and the pink wood, and the pink things in general, and bow, and the safari exit hole, and the Squidward painting, and the numbered cube, the secret lighthouse, the secrets of the maze, and Spook and Sinister Wood. Once again, wow, that's a mouthful. That's a lot to say. If I left anything out, leave it in the comments below. That's all the Easter eggs that Lumber Tycoon 2 has seen thus far. So happy Easter, everyone. Hope you have a great Easter. Hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, drop a like. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends if you did enjoy. And leave any comments you may have in the comment section below. Leave any video ideas you might have in the comment section below as well. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible regarding those. But if you, without further ado, peace out. Happy Easter, everyone.